and welcome to the Disney Dining Show. We are so excited to be here with you today. We are going to have a little bit of fun. But before we get started too far, just to remind you that this video, like all videos, is sponsored by Dreams Unlimited Travel. Let the experts at Dreams Unlimited Travel help you plan your next Disney vacation. You can reach out to them today on the web at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. They'll send you a free, no obligation quote, and their amazing expert services are available to you at no extra charge to you. It's a win-win. So dreamsunlimitedtravel.com today. My name is Deni Sunderly. I am joined here with a room filled with friends, and we're going to have a little fun. We're going to do a little something different today, and I hope that's okay. But let me introduce who's here first before we just continue with this fun. So over here on my left is Federico Argar. He is the head honcho. Did I say that correctly, Federico?
Argar.
Argar?
Yeah.
Argar?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a made-up name, so.
It's a made-up name.
Oh boy.
Okay, Fetty.
Well, now we'll have to
story there.
We'll have to see if we can't get his real name then,
like
if that's a
Cher.
made-up one.
It's like Cher. I
I
love
think,
it.
right?
Okay, Fetty.
Yeah,
All
sure,
right.
yeah.
Check out cdisney.com. Fetty's got a ton of stuff. He and the team at C Disney have everything you need. And then we have Miss Amy Krieger.
Hello.
Amy, you are with World of DVC. You are with DVCfan.com, and you write the lion's share of the articles for movingtoorlando.com.
That is true. Yep. Thank you. I can't believe you knew all that. That's impressive.
I know it. I know. You have your fingers in so many pots right now. You're very, very busy in a good way.
I didn't
Yeah.
even know that much about you.
Yeah, and my
That's
phone's
amazing.
like
Paul,
ringing off the
Amy,
hook
Amy,
right
Paul.
now.
Over here on my right is Paul Krieger. Paul
bye.
Krieger is with World of DVC and DVC Fan. He writes a lot for DVC Fan. Of course, both Paul and Amy are on the DVC Fan team, so it's so great to. So great to. This
Great
is the
to be here. I know,
first
this is
time
like
to
the
be on the
first-
show with
yeah.
you, so I'm excited about that. Very cool. And of course, the amazing
fun.
Jackie Gailey, senior editor of The Diz, is next to Paul.
Hi, everyone.
Yay.
Hello.
Producing is the faithful Fiasco.
Also a made-up name. Hi, everybody.
Yes.
This is the team of made-up names. That's what it is.
The next
That's
question
what
and
it is.
answer portion is going to be very interesting.
This is true. Because we need the backstories of the made-up names,
we need
right?
all the made-up name backstory.
That's exactly right. What was your, was it Aloysius?
It's not
or
that,
something?
no, it's not that
Okay.
creative. It's just, in Colombia, we use two last names.
Oh,
And
okay.
my dad is Ardila, my mom is Garces. So I just put that together and it's Argar.
I love that.
Nice.
You get to do
Yeah.
that. I mean, I don't know that I've ever known I could. What name would I? No, I like Sunderly. I'll stick with it. My husband's watching. I love Sunderly. It's all good. We are going to have a lot of fun today. Hopefully, I don't want to sell it too big, but hopefully we'll have a little fun. I have made up some cards. I am big on visuals and Mr. Sketch markers, and so anytime to be able to use Mr. Sketch markers, I'm a happy camper. I
Are those the scented ones?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So I have made cards with my Mr. Sketch markers, and on each card is a topic. It's kind of a question, so it's a poll, essentially, is what we're going to do. I need to know your answer and why, because here at the Diz, all things Diz, we want to help people get ready for their next Walt Disney World vacation, right?
Yep.
I watched the show for years, and I would listen to what Kevin said about a restaurant and go, okay, sad little crab king, I'm going to write that down. You know, all these little notes of things that he would say and that the team would throw in on. So these are things I need to know. So these are things that I'd like for us to share with the audience.
And do listen, because they are valuable pieces of advice. Amy and I went to Maria and Enzo's the other night.
We went because
you?
of Pete's review. We're like, let's see.
We were like,
Surely it can't be that bad.
Surely.
they've got to have improved since that point. The pasta sauce on my pasta was fluorescent orange, and it's just not.
Delightful. That
yeah.
just sounds delicious
Yummy.
to me. I don't know what the problem is.
It was
Okay. All right. Just teasing you. You ready? Then we're going to start with a softball. Okay. This is a really, really, really easy one. Current favorite counter or quick service restaurant at Walt Disney World? What's your current favorite? What would you recommend people add to their list and go, oh, yeah, okay. next time? Who has one?
Satuli Canteen at Animal Kingdom, consistently good, fresh. We always get, they have like the bowls where you mix and match like the protein and the like the ingredients inside. I like the noodles and the potato hash, but every time we've eaten there, it's always consistently very, very good. So that's definitely one that comes to mind first for me.
Excellent. And you can smell it as soon as you walk in the door, right?
Yeah.
You know this is a different kind of quick service. This stuff is actually being made right now, and it's going to be hot and fresh.
And something else that I really appreciate about quick service restaurants is just plenty of seating. Like I really hate like getting food and going in and like walking around and not knowing where to sit. And Satuli is just like a really nice big area. There's a lot of outdoor seating. There's a lot of indoor. So just overall, one of the best.
Awesome. Who else? Thank you, Amy.
So my favorite has been for years Columbia Harbor House in the Magic Kingdom. So they've got a salmon there that I just think is the bomb. It's so good. And I don't love like fast food stuff. So it always feels really good to me. Like Satuli Canteen too. I love the idea of a fresh bowl of food that's not like a processed hamburger or something like that. Like it just salmon is so fresh and it comes with veggies and rice and it just feels like dinner at my house.
Yeah.
Like I really love that break in the day and the ability to get it so quick and then to go up to the second floor in the Columbia Harbor House. And I like to sit on the little bridge. And I like to watch people in the Haunted Mansion line. It's just really fun. And the Liberty Bell goes by and I just love everything about it.
It's the lobster rolls are good there too.
Are they? I've never
Columbia.
had one of those. I might need to do that one of these days.
Yeah.
It's so quiet. Peace and quiet inside of a theme park is such a hot commodity, right? Like
Yes.
you just all need that. It's kind of dark in there.
Yeah.
Kind of like your own little cocoon. So
Yeah.
I agree with
I
you.
love it.
I don't really eat a lot of fast food, and my wife Haley, who's in the chat right now, is an enforcement of that. She watches me on that. But Chicken Guy in Disney Springs is an entire different caliber of fast food. I love Chicken Guy so much. Their chicken strips, their fried pickles, their French fries, everything really you get there is just at a step above. But also I need to plug, and I get flack for this because you do have a server and you do tip your server at this place. But as far as the price is concerned, as far as like the vibe's concerned, it feels very quick servicey. And when it was on the Disney dining plan, it was considered quick service credits. But Geyser Point, it's again, you will be tipping, you will be having a server, you will be tipping a server, but it's still awesome prices for like what should be table service food.
Yeah, I would agree. Has anybody ever been to the Four Rivers barbacoa truck at Disney Springs?
No.
Okay.
You know, we have a restaurant up in Jacksonville.
Yes.
They've got a restaurant
Same.
there. And I've been there, but I haven't been to the truck.
The truck is so good, and now I've had the street tacos twice. The chicken tinga street tacos, so good, so fresh, made to order. And if you're kind of hustling and bustling between point A and point B, or you've got a movie to catch real quick, fantastic. And the team members there are really nice. I know it's not technically a quick service or a counter service, but they do have a counter, okay,
Yeah, so
on
let's go
the
answer.
side of
Yeah.
the
That
truck. So
I think I'd have to go with Regal Eagle Smokehouse at
Ooh.
Epcot. We've been there a couple times now, and each time the food is good, and I keep coming back for more. One time I was down here on a trip, and Amy was back home in West Virginia still, and I was on the phone with her. I think I walked the Epcot loop like 3 times because I'm not good at making a decision on my own. So I just kept walking around going, what am I going to eat? What am I going to eat? Every time I walked by Regal Eagle, I was like, that smells amazing. And so that's what I finally settled on. So yeah. And
That's so good.
It was good.
So if you're touring in Epcot and you find Paul, help him.
help me find a place
Please,
to eat.
Yes.
he needs all the help he
He
can
needs
get.
assistance. What were you going to say?
I
Fanny?
will have to agree with Fiasco on Geyser Point. I love it. I usually go there on my Magic Kingdom day, and it's such a like different experience just to see the lake, be there, just to get like a break from the whole Magic Kingdom thing. And the food is really good. The hamburger,
Bison burger.
Yes, the
Yeah.
bison burger.
yeah, I had the margarita flies. What you call it?
the
taste-
flatbread.
No, it's like a taste of different
Yeah, the flight.
margaritas.
Oh,
yeah,
the
drinks,
flight.
The
Okay,
flight,
I get
yeah.
you. Okay. Oh,
And it's just really
gosh.
fun to go back to the Magic Kingdom after that.
Sure. That.
Gives you a little bit of
Say
a different.
margarita again, Fetty, please.
Margarita.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I
now.
love that.
Come on now. You just do the whole rest of the show, okay?
You're channeling your Sofia Vergara.
Yeah.
Just perfect. Okay, next question. Splurge restaurant that you would recommend. So Walt Disney World Splurge restaurant, because we all have special occasions, right? So it's a little pricier. So maybe we were not rolling there every single Walt Disney World trip. But if you're going to celebrate a benchmark birthday or an anniversary or something like that, where's a place that you would recommend?
I know what you're gonna say.
Do you?
Maybe.
I'm gonna say Bull and Bear.
I knew. Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. So Bull and Bear is a little bit off the beaten path. It's at the Four Seasons.
Nope.
No.
Waldorf Astoria.
Astoria. Yeah, I get those two confused all the time. We went there with some friends for a special dinner earlier this year, and just an amazing experience. I think it is sort of up there next to Victoria and Albert's,
Wow.
but not the same sort of coursed presentation. You still order from a menu, so you can still. But they have a fried chicken that is just out of this world.
They do a lot of table side
Yeah, a lot of
preparation.
presentations.
Yeah.
So really, when I think about fine dining, it's more than just the food. It's the entire experience while you're at that. It's the service. It's how they present the food. It's the music in certain circumstances. So Bull and Bear. Check it out.
Excellent. I concur with that. We went to Bull and Bear for one of our anniversaries. And while we dropped a chunk of change, it was so worth it. I just service top notch, over and above. Presentation, like you said, Amy, amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, where
Nice.
else?
So
Splurge.
I have it's been a few years, but one of my favorite places to go to, we've eaten there twice in the last since 2008. So we don't go there often. Like you said, it's a splurge. Narcoossee's at the Grand Floridian. So I love that restaurant, and it's right on the water. So you're right there, and if you time your reservation just right, they pipe the music in from the Magic Kingdom fireworks, and you can go. So their kitchen staff, similar to California Grill, their kitchen staff will turn their burners down a little bit and slow the cooking process if your food is about ready to come out, so that you can step outside onto the dock and watch those fireworks. And I think that the view that it offers is really cool, because you can look, you're all the way across the water. And so you see them from afar, and it's a different perspective than you get when you're up on that outside deck at California Grill. So it looks more like it's over Main Street from that angle. And I just love every second of it. And when we were there, the Walt Disney World Railroad was still going at that time. It's not running right now. They're doing testing, but it's not running. But I loved hearing the whistle blow from the railroad, because you could hear it from right there. And so I just love that. And the food was outstanding. We were celebrating something. Oh my gosh, I don't
and it was
remember.
something very special.
It was something really special,
Yes,
but I can't remember. It had to have been an anniversary or
Sure.
something like that, and might have been one of the kids' birthdays. But the servers, they pay attention to that kind of stuff so wonderfully, and they just made everything special for us there. And they even made this special dessert, and another table had a special dessert too, and theirs was different than ours. So that just made us feel even more special. It was really cool, and I want to go. I'd like to go there again. For something special again. It's been, like I said, it's been quite a few years. I think it was 2013 or
It's time.
Yeah,
It's
it's
time
time to
for
go
another
again.
visit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
that
sure.
place is high on our list. We have
Is it?
not tried it, and I
love
really
it.
want to.
Yeah, you'll love it. It's just really good. They do really, and I don't see many people write about it or share
Yeah.
about that particular restaurant. So I see a lot about Citrico's, but I don't see a lot about Narcoossee's, and I just think
I
it's
think
so
a lot
cool.
of people don't realize it's there. Like
think
you
so,
might
too,
see it
yeah.
on the reservation list, but it's not like Citricos is right there when you're walking to the Grand Floridian. You're on the second floor, but like Narcoossee's, I don't even
Tucked
know.
away.
Yeah, it's
You
just
have to-
tucked away back,
Yeah.
by the water.
Yeah, and you have to,
So.
it's a little hike from the main building,
Yeah.
so it's not like you see it or anything at all. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Who else? Splurge restaurant.
I have a list of restaurants that when I have friends and family in town that don't really like, they just think like they don't have the Disney think that we think about Disney, like, and they're like, oh, you moved there for that, and that still kind of confused them. I have a list of restaurants that I would take them to be like, hey, look at how impressive food here can be. The most obvious restaurant on that list for like the top tier caliber places for me is Topolino's. I talk about it extensively.
Yep.
And that's what, like, I'd say probably about 50% of chat has said. But I've had a new one recently that has only grown on me. The first time I went here, I was like, oh, my opinion on it was almost, I wouldn't spend my own money here, but I'm here for the review and it was okay. I've gone back multiple times now and it's become one of my favorite locations. That's Haleo. Haleo is so good. It really is an experience. I've tried so many foods for the first time at Haleo, and I'm so happy that I did. And now I've had friends come in town recently, and I've taken them there just to be like, hey, look at how impressive the food at Disney can be. Because Haleo is the example of that, in my opinion. But it's a pricey meal, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
But it is worth it. And if you want that paella, you got to order it at the beginning of the meal.
Yep.
But make sure to put that order in because you want the paella, whether you realize it or not.
You
do.
want the paella.
you do. So, one thing that's really cool, I love it, Fiasco, when you talk about Haleo, because it reminds me of, I lived in Spain actually when I was little. My dad was in the Navy.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I lived there we lived there for 18 months. And so I was 3 when we came back to the States. So, but I remember the ladies, we lived in an interesting, I barely remember it, and there really aren't many pictures of it. But the lady that was our landlord at this place that we lived in, she used to make the most amazing paella, and Fiasco has always ranted and raved about the paella at Haleo. And so I remember going there the first time I went there when it first opened, and oh my gosh, it is so good. It is so good, and I can't say. I mean, how could you remember eating something when you were a toddler? But it felt like home to me. It was so good. And it's the smells, and they're cooking it right in front of you. I mean,
I'm picturing you as Antonigo at the end of Ratatouille when he takes that first bite of Ratatouille and is a kid
Right?
again.
Yes.
You with the paella. You're a kid
that was
again.
me.
It's not the paella, but we were randomly looking for gifts for friends and family the other day online, and I think it's like Goldbelly has a Haleo kit that you can actually order
Wow.
and ship to someone's house.
It's like charcuterie.
It's
and,
charcuterie. It's
yeah.
got their tomato bread that they
yeah.
serve.
It's
You have to
so
bake
good.
it yourself
Good heavens.
and
Yeah.
like make it.
That
but-
tomato
Whoa,
bread, you can
though.
get
Right out of the oven.
sardines on it. And I remember the first time we went there, Steve Porter convinced me to
Yes,
try
he did.
sardines for the first time in my life. Never
And you
forget
did?
that. I did. And it was good. It was good.
Yeah, when
Wow.
Steve wanted those sardines, we were like, okay, bud.
Enjoy.
But yeah, we all had sardines.
Yep.
They also have another appetizer there. It comes, I don't remember what it is. Maybe you guys do. But it comes on like this dish that looks like a red pillow.
Yeah, the chicken popper things.
That's
So
yeah.
good.
those are, oh my word.
Yeah, so good.
Mhm.
But like what you said, Fiasco, how fun is it to try something completely out of your box
Yes.
from a different culture and go, hey, I mean, it expands your horizons. It's so much fun.
And sorry, go ahead.
In that note, I have one on my list that I haven't tried because it's closed and it's super expensive.
what is it?
The one in Japan, the Takumi Thai. Yeah.
Takumi, am I saying, is it Tay or Thai?
Takumi Thai. I don't know.
I think it's Tay.
I think you're right, Jackie. Takumi Tay. Correct us in chat. I know you will.
They're already
Let me
correcting
know.
Fiasco's
Hit me up.
Topolino.
Yeah.
But yes.
It's closed. It's been closed like forever, but I heard it's like a whole cultural experience. And
Yeah.
I'm very into that. Like having the tea ceremony and the whole sushi thing.
Yeah.
Something that I want to try.
That would be lovely.
People in chat are actually saying about Takumi Tay, and they're dreaming of going. I also have never been and want to go, but they're saying until then, to try Blue Zoo, which I've also never been
Yeah.
at the Swan or not the Dolphin.
Yeah. See, Paul and I went to Blue Zoo. I don't know. It might have been an off night.
Didn't
so.
feel super
Yeah.
excited about it.
So I was going to say Bull and Bear, and then Paul stole it, and then I was going to say Topolino's. But another really good one that a lot of people don't think about because everyone's focused on like in the Topolino's. If you want really good Italian food, Il Molino. It's over at is it in the Swan?
It's in the Swan.
Yeah,
so,
it's fantastic. And the one thing I've noticed about Disney restaurants right now, and at Topolino's it's the same, is that the menus have been really cut back. And Il Molino is serving a full menu, and they've got a lot of options, a lot of pastas, a lot of meats, and the service. We had it twice, right, within the last like 6 months, and it's been excellent service. The food's been great.
I think that same trip we did Topolino's and Il Molino.
We did,
and
yes.
it was a little bit of a toss up between the two, between what meal we actually enjoyed more.
They're comparably good.
And Il
yeah.
Molino, I think, was better because of the fact that it did have a larger menu. There were more options to choose from, and the service was just as outstanding.
And even when you're splurging, hey, we can splurge on pizza. And Il Molino's got the best pizza.
That's on
Never
my
had the
list.
pizza there.
It's
but-
really good.
Wow, that sounds good.
Yeah, I need to get there. Pete has raved about Il Molino for years and years and years, and I've never gotten there, and I need to do that. I definitely want to do that. Mine is going to be Topolino's Terrace. I agree. I concur with chat. I concur with what's been said in this room. The Soul Menu at Topolino's, unreal. And yes, I miss the burrata very much, the burrata appetizer, but the ricotta is amazing. You just and if you time it right, and it's dusk, and you've got a cocktail or a mocktail, and you're out waiting for your table to be called on their beautiful balcony. I mean, it's just magic. So that was mine for sure. All right, next question. Current favorite Epcot pavilion for dining and or snacking. Current favorite Epcot pavilion for dining or snacking. If your time is limited, which one you heading to?
I'm going to go to France, and I'm going to go to that place that I can never pronounce. Les Halles Patisserie de Blangerie. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce it.
That's where Deni has to do. She has to solve.
yes. The ham and cheese croissant. They've got wonderful pastries and desserts, and you can get a meal there. You can get just a snack there. The food is always good. That I used to tell people that is like my favorite thing to rope drop at Epcot. You know what I mean? Like I'm been here enough. I'm done with the rides. We used to line up, and they used to be able to get breakfast there. Is Epcot still back to opening at 9 or? I don't know.
It's not quite there.
Is
It's
it not
10.
till 11 or 10? Okay.
10.
So, and that's what Paul and I used to do. Now that we're DVC members, we're just a little more relaxed. We used to rope drop the French patisserie, and it's great. So that's my place.
I'm going to Germany.
Ooh, are you?
Yeah,
What
I'm
you
going to
getting in
Germany.
girl?
So too bad Craig's not in the room because I don't know how to say the caramel store.
The Karma.
Yeah, that one.
Caramel Kitchen.
You gotta
Kitchen.
hawk something
I
up
like
in
that,
the middle.
Amy. Yes, the caramel kitchen.
That's what I
yes.
call it.
Oh, yes. So, and I love the beer garden too. They just have their food there is so good. So I like to have like an early dinner, and then kind of just tour around World Showcase for a couple of hours, and then get a treat at nighttime. So that's how we always used to do Disney when we flew in. So we would have like an early dinner. Like even sometimes we would get the latest lunch reservation, or the earliest dinner reservation, and then we could have a nice little fun snack at the end of the day. So sometimes we would get their popcorn, or they just have all kinds of really special treats there that you just thank goodness I don't live right here, because oh my gosh, their snacks are out of this world. And I just feel like there's nothing more super yum than fresh caramel. So
that's like the best place. Like when you've got family that's like camped out for the fireworks, and you like send someone over to I just call it Caramel Kitchen, because that's
yes,
good.
Get some
might steal
snacks
that
while
from you.
you wait. Yeah.
Yep.
oh,
Fetty, where are you headed?
Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it with Japan. I'm horrible with names, but the quick service that is right behind the main.
Yes, Katsura Grill.
Yeah, that's really good. They have good ramen. I mean, it's not the best ramen I ever had, but it's decent.
They have green tea ice cream too. Have you ever had? It's good.
Dear friends of ours, their 10-year-old son, when he came, the green tea ice cream was the pinnacle. Of his entire trip. That's what he wanted.
And you can get also in the store, which is like a whole shopping mall. You can get a lot of things that are fun just to get in.
They have
try
really cool
when you're
stuff.
in the park.
Yeah.
For sure. And the cast members at Katsura are always the kindest people. And in Mitsukoshi as well, just very, very kind people. So, all cast members are, but they take such great pride in presenting the food to you and your order and all that jazz. So that's just wonderful. Paul, pavilion, please.
I'm going to go to the Mexico Pavilion and go to Choza de Margarita.
Okay.
Go for the margaritas, but stay for the food.
That's what I've heard.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you eat there?
They have, I believe they have a couple different taco options at the stand, but they have an amazing guacamole too. And it's so much better than the quick service that's across the way. It's fresh. It's served with, I think, chicharrones. I believe, and a little bit of hot sauce, and it is just.
And the street corn, the little street corn they give you with the tacos.
They don't give you enough street corn.
No,
it's like you and your wife fight over the street corn.
There needs to be individual street corn happening. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Fiasco, what do you think?
I'm jumping over with Fetty over there in Japan, primarily for the grocery section in the back of that store there. Me and Haley actually do routine trips there because they have the best stovetop easy day ramen you can get. It's the yellow package with the little boy on it that looks like he's got chubby cheeks.
Okay.
There's no easy ramen that's better than that. It's so good.
Really?
As well as the gummies, the Japanese sodas, the different flavor Kit Kats. But then also on top of that, Epcot almost always has a festival going on. And the festival booths that I find myself most often are still Japan, China, and then as well, what was the other one I was thinking of? Obviously, I don't go there enough if I lost where it was, but Morocco
Okay.
for the Taste of Marrakesh when it pops up for Flower and Garden. That is what turned me on to the Marrakesh restaurant itself. I'm so glad it did. That restaurant's been there forever, and I never thought of it until like 3 years ago, but it is so good. Try the Taste of Marrakesh to get a taste of what you'll get in the main restaurant, and you'll thank me later.
Excellent. And I'm hanging out with Amy in the France Pavilion.
Oh, yeah.
There's you can get salads to amazing sandwiches. Their apple and brie sandwich, goodness gracious, please. Get that. Please get that. And you can have it heated. You can, go
they
cold
toast
or
'em.
hot. They'll do whatever. All the way to coffee and dessert. So that's my favorite too. So I'm there with you. Okay, here we go. Most surprising dining experience. What was the most surprising dining experience that you've had that you went and, oh my gosh, okay, this is legit, or this just is so different, positive or negative?
We booked years ago Hoop-de-Doo musical review, and I will say like I have a musical background, so anything that has musical in it, okay, I'm excited by that, but I did not expect to have as much fun as I did at that event, and I am dying for it to come back. Amy's got video of me and that washboard and that spoon going to town.
Yes. And he's taken me back 3 times since that first time. We've seen it
anytime
3 times
we
in a
didn't
year.
have a dining reservation somewhere and it was like, where are we gonna go to dinner? I'll be like, Hoop-de-Doo, let's do it.
Perfect.
Because the show doesn't get old, it just the performers there are absolutely amazing, and I'm really looking forward to hopefully seeing that come back pretty soon. So
Absolutely. We miss you, Hoop-de-Doo.
we do.
All right, most surprising dining experience.
I have to say Sana
Okay.
at Animal Kingdom. Yeah, my favorite restaurant at Disney World.
That's in my
I
top
think
5.
Pete was
Wow,
talking about on the last show, the DVC one, that I just bought a contract on Animal Kingdom, and I think Sana had a lot to do with the decision of buying Animal Kingdom, because the whole experience of overlooking the savannah and the animals, the food was something that I wasn't expected to find in Disney World.
It's an underrated
good.
restaurant.
Yes.
It
So
is,
good.
yeah.
And if you got like a Savannah view, you can get the food to go and take it back. And
I
sit.
did that.
Yeah?
I did that. I got a Savannah view, and I went to get the to-go menu with the bread service.
Oh, yeah.
And had it there. Amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Love
What else?
that.
What do you think? Most surprising?
This is another tough one for me. But thinking about it for the short amount of time I just did, I got to plug out Steakhouse 71.
Okay.
The Wave has been one of the most consistently good and fairly priced restaurants on property for a while now. And with it changing and going down and becoming Steakhouse 71, we expected like some sort of price jump on something. Maybe one of the things that we loved in the menu before would go away. But just the transition into Steakhouse 71 was the most beautifully done thing that I've ever seen. Like, it was just like, okay, we know you guys love the Wave. We're basically just going to give you the Wave and just pump the notches up a little bit. We're not going to take anything away. We're not going to gouge any prices, and we're just going to give you more. And it's like in a stage of where Disney is just not doing that at all, to have that happen with something that you love as much as your favorite restaurant is just like, wow, you guys really hit the nail on the head. I couldn't have imagined it any better. So Steakhouse 71 for me, which was just recently.
Yeah, I have to agree that they did a really great job. Paul and I have been there twice, and those of you on DVC fan know that I've tried twice to conquer the prime rib, and I have failed. I always leave half of it. So if you want to eat the whole thing, stop filling up on all that other stuff. The potato brioche though is really good. Steakhouse is awesome.
We're going to film your third attempt.
There you go.
Yeah, that'd be
do it.
embarrassing. So
For me, I want to say Trails End. I love it, and I've loved it for years, but I didn't know until I actually went over there for the first time with my family that I would love it like I do. Anytime Trails End is suggested, and it doesn't. Yes, I want the buffet back in all its glory, but even if it's not, that breakfast skillet is really, really good. I want to go to Trails End, and I would like to take watercraft to get there if possible, because that is the best way to arrive at Fort Wilderness, I feel like. But I camped as a Girl Scout as a kid.
I camped as a Girl Scout too.
There you go. That's all I
10
want.
years.
I got it all out of my system.
Yep, I don't camp anymore.
I don't know.
If anyone wants to go camping with me, I've wanted to, but
I'll go with you, Paul.
okay. Yeah.
There you go.
we go.
So Fort Wilderness, we got to stay there on my birthday this past year and loved it. It's not my go-to aesthetic. I'm not going, I want to camp. But Trails End, yes, I want that rustic feeling. I want just the really approachable service, just the whole 9 yards. The food is just so good. So that's mine for sure, for sure. Thank you, Fetty. Are you guys ready for the next one?
Yep.
Here we go. So with the advent of all the fun that we're having at Walt Disney World and some of the decisions that are currently being made and the degradation of the value of staying on property, some of us may be staying off property more and more and more, especially friends who are watching. And so what is our current favorite off-property restaurant? What would you recommend that people, and if you don't have one, that's totally okay, but what would you recommend for those who have a car, are staying off property, or are staying on property and have a car and are willing to drive? And I will go first if you all need a minute to think. Okay.
I need to
all
write
right.
the law.
Okay. I'm going to tell them to head to Celebration and go to either Celebration Town Tavern. I know that Pete did a review and didn't enjoy his dinner as much as he was hoping he would. It's a restaurant that my family goes to repeatedly, all the time, and everything I've tried, and I've found my favorites on the menu, is just so good, so fresh. The service is fantastic. Careful if you're going on a weekend night, you want to get there a little bit earlier. But it's great. If you love seafood, it's fantastic. Also, if you have a special occasion to celebrate, the Columbia restaurant in Celebration, or if you're out toward Tampa, the original Columbia out in Ybor City. So good. Spanish food. And it's funny, Fiasco, because it was kind of like what you said as far with Jaleo.
Yeah.
It is, oh, my stars, I I love this food. And I didn't even know that I loved this food before I tried it and found out I did. They have fresh Cuban, like everyone gets their own fresh Cuban loaf. Like, give me my own loaf of bread and I am happy. Thank you. I want butter and I want bread. But their food is just so good. And it's a lovely experience from beginning to end. Anybody else? Favorite off-property?
Is Universal in the table?
Yeah.
So
They're
I'm
out
gonna
there.
say Universal's Antojitos at City Walk.
Okay.
It's a Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
I haven't been to Mexico, but I posted a review on See Disney, and people from Mexico were happy about it. So,
nice.
but it's really good. It's not that expensive. The food is a lot. I mean, the portions are big, and it was very what I was expecting from Mexican food. So.
So Antojitos, right?
Antojitos, yeah.
Antojitos.
I've not. We've not experienced this one yet. We are going to tonight, actually, but I know Pete has talked positively about it. Christini's in Dr. Phillips, I believe.
Yes.
So have you been there, Fiasco?
I have. And I also want to mention I've been to every restaurant y'all have brought up so far,
Okay.
more than once. And yes, you're all right. They're great.
You concur.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm very excited for dinner tonight. We're gonna go to Christini's, and I've heard very good things about it. So
Excellent.
Yep.
Very cool.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna change mine.
Do it. Do it. You got-
Because I went to a Disney cruise
Yeah.
a couple of days ago,
Okay.
and yesterday we had dinner at Capitol Grill on
Okay.
the Millennium Mall.
Okay.
And I was talking to Jimmy, and I said this meal is even better than the excellent food that we have at Disney Cruise Line. The food was fantastic.
Okay.
It
Yes,
was
girl.
the best meat I ever had in the U.S.
Wow.
Wow.
And everything was great. It was great. The service was amazing. I know it's an expensive restaurant, but
Yes. Yeah.
it's worth it, in my opinion.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
We don't go to off-property restaurants really when we come down. So,
that's all right.
like, for those who don't know, we're about a 2.5 hour drive each way to come down. So when we come down, we sort of behave like we're on vacation a little bit, and we stay on property. So I don't really have anything to add for that one. But
What's your favorite restaurant in Jack's? It's okay
I
if
don't
it's
really.
grab it and go.
Yeah, Chipotle has been
Yes.
our pretty much our go-to.
On Chipotle.
You knew I was going to say
On
that, huh?
Tuesday we Chipotle.
We do. Yep. Deni and I always
I
do
am
that.
not
Yep, we
cooking
do.
on Tuesday. If I roll out of here, it's Chipotle.
Chipotle.
See you there if you're in town.
Curbside pickup.
Yes,
Yes,
there
ma'am.
You go. There you go.
the
All right.
one.
Did everyone get to answer?
I
Yes.
would just like to plug.
Yes.
I do eat out a lot. Just to add a few things, I saw in chat too
I
that,
do eat out a lot.
that I want to concur with chat. If I want Mexican food, I get a Guava Azul.
Yes.
If I want pizza, I usually get Anthony's Coal Fire or Pizza 14
Okay.
in Windermere. And then Hawker's Asian Street Fair. I have annoyed Haley with how much I order Hawker's, but I love Hawker's.
Well, and Diane in chat said Coq au vin in Orlando, and I agree with that, Diane. I've been there with my parents and my youngest, and it is French food at its best, and it was lovely. And it's not a huge restaurant, but it's just magnificent. And the souffle. You have the souffle. when you
We
go.
had an Anthony's in Pittsburgh and we loved it.
It's
We
so
used to go all the
good.
time.
that was like our Christmas
that
tradition.
was like our go-to, Christmas.
we
like,
would go up there,
before.
go shopping, and eat at Anthony's. So
Oh, I
now that
love
we know that there's one down here too.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it.
Yay.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yay! Taste of home. Current favorite dish on property. Creme de la creme. What's your current favorite dish on
It's so
property?
hard.
I know it's hard. I know. Fiasco right now is scrolling in his mind through his top 10. I know.
This is probably the hardest question so far, and I thought I already answered the hardest one.
Okay,
This is tough.
I'm gonna go to the boathouse,
Okay.
and I'm going to say a lobster roll, but not what's on the menu. If you ask them to make you a Connecticut style, or if you just say I want it hot with butter, then that is like one of the best lobster rolls. And then instead of the regular fries, I ask them to turn them into truffle fries, and that is probably like one of my favorite meals. And then add an appetizer, the pimento cheese dip. at the boathouse. Paul and I, we used to get it all the time, and then they switched it to this dip duo where you got like a smaller one and a salsa. And so when we order, we're like, can we just, skip the salsa? Can you just give us like extra? So we get like a whole like mega pimento cheese dip. And so that's how we roll.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Double down on the
Yeah,
pimento.
so if you want extra pimento, you can skip the salsa. They'll do that. They have no problem with it. And it is a lot of dip.
So Connecticut style, though.
Connecticut
How
style,
is it
hot
different?
with butter. So Maine is cold lobster,
Creamy.
cold mayo, like a kind of like you would do chicken salad with lobster. And then Connecticut is hot lobster. There's nothing else on it but hot butter. Like you get like the hot butter on the side. I mean, with the toasted roll. Yeah, it's like, oh, I love lobster rolls.
That's
so.
intriguing. Okay, all right. Who else? Current favorite dish?
I think I'm gonna cheat,
Cheat?
because I'm gonna pick one that is a bunch of different things.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
I think it's called the butcher board at Polite Pig.
Yep. Yeah, it was good.
I think it's $40 for 2 people.
Okay.
If you're not like me, if you're like me, it's for one. And it has
No
like
shame. No shame in that.
no, I mean it's pretty big, but it has like chicken and sausages and a lot of things that you normally have on American barbecue, which is not common for us. I think it's really good, and the price is for the amount of food that we have.
We've had it and we love it, and you get like a lot of sides and a lot of different meats. And then if you sit, because it's quick service, if you sit at the bar area, they serve you like you're in a restaurant. You know what I mean? So it's like it's pretty cheap for you know what I mean? Yeah.
Nice.
Love it. Who else?
So I have a recent favorite. So we went for the first time to STK earlier this year. And my husband makes a rockin' steak at home. And we have never, in the 28 years we've been married, we have never gone to a restaurant and had a steak that we both loved. Not ever. And so we rarely will ever order steak because he just makes a better steak. So, but we went to STK and we had amazing steaks, but their Brussels sprouts that you can order as a side dish are out of this world. And I told him I would even skip the steak and like get 2 sides of Brussels sprouts because Brussels sprouts are hard to me for whatever reason. I don't know why. They shouldn't be hard, but I hated them as a kid growing up. But we make them a lot at home, and it takes me. It's really tricky to get them just right, and I don't know why it's so tricky, but it just makes me mad, and because I try so hard and I do all the things, and I turn the oven right where it's supposed to be, and they just never turn out as good. But at STK, they are out of this world. They have a little bit of bacon on them, and it's real bacon. They've cooked actual bacon and chopped it up. They are just so delish, and you can tell that there's some olive oil on them, and but oh man.
STK is really, if you love a good steak, that's a great place to go. Sometimes inside it can be really, really loud. They have a
loud.
DJ playing.
Yes.
We discovered on my hubby's birthday that they also have an upstairs balcony that overlooks Disney Springs, which is amazing. Like it's beautiful up there. The music is piped out there, but not at the volume at which it is inside the restaurant. And
That's
also,
a good
they have
point.
outdoor seating out front, but that back upper patio is fantastic.
Yeah, if it's not too, that would be great in the cooler months down here for sure. Because we were kind of in the back of the restaurant, kind of on the same side as the live DJ.
Yes.
And that was loud. I'm glad you mentioned that because it definitely, if you're not into loud, it was great music. I mean, they
it's great
played
DJ.
really great tunes. Like, it was good, but
it gets bumping in there. And
It was-
you don't want to be, eating your steak and
rocking and rolling right there in
bopping
your
right
seat.
along. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what else?
I'd
Favorite dish?
probably have to go back to Fetty's favorite and Sanaa and get the bread service there. That place, is absolutely amazing. We were there with some friends earlier this year. It was 3 couples, and we had to establish at the beginning of the meal that each couple is getting their own bread service. Like, there's no other option.
Because normally we'd
here.
share appetizers, and it was like, look, we're not sharing.
We're not sharing.
Sorry.
This is too good. So
Yeah.
that bread service and all of the different sauces, and then each time trying to come up with which one's going to be your favorite sauce.
Yeah.
It's just
The garlic one.
And those,
the jalapeno.
They have garlic that.
yes,
just
the
whole
garlic. It's just
garlic,
yes,
and
I
you're
love
like,
that
"Ooh,
one.
I'm gonna eat a whole. Yes,
Yes.
you are.
I love that.
And then the cilantro coconut vegetables, like those are some of the best vegetables I've ever had. They're awesome. The butter chicken.
All right, Fiasco, give us the rundown.
All right, so I've come to the conclusion I got to go with this, but I got to go with it with a disclaimer that this restaurant has proved to be inconsistent, and they change their menu far too often. But the best, and I said this in the review, the best meal I've ever had in my life, and it still has not changed, was at Chico.
Okay.
From start to finish, the entree I got that really topped it over was the filet with the baby root vegetables with like their brown glaze, whatever type of sauce was on it. It was just the most delicious meal I've ever had, ever, and that still hasn't changed. But when I went back to Chico just a few weeks later, that item was different. And then I went back again, and it was different again. They just keep changing their menu, and I was taking guests there to be like, hey, you have to try this. And then it wasn't the same.
Okay.
So it was the best thing I've ever had, though.
Okay. All right. My current favorite, because it's your current favorite. Our currents can change, right? Our favorites can cycle out. But right now, for me, it is a dessert. It's at Toledo, which you'll find. It's the rooftop restaurant at Gran Destino at Coronado Springs. It's the crema catalana. It's amazing. It's amazing. And we tried it. My husband and I did for the first time on our anniversary. We've been back since and gotten it. And it's the stuff of dreams. It is just this creamy custard, and it's citrus scented and flavored, and it has this beautiful chocolate tulle on the top and candied orange peel. And I want that. I like having that along with a cafe bonbon, which has been described to me by a cast member as rocket fuel. And it is. I can't sleep when I get it after dinner. There's not a lot of sleep happening that evening because I am just, my mind is racing. But it is the most divine way to finish a lovely meal. I love the filet at Toledo. It's just so good. But that crema catalana with that cafe bonbon, heaven. I'm in heaven.
We missed out. We should have ordered that.
So good.
And
So good.
That's a beautiful restaurant.
I love
just
that place.
sure
the
is.
look of the place, and you can see fireworks from up there.
Well, and,
Yeah.
the prices, okay, they're more expensive, but they're not like Brown Derby more expensive. And it's, I believe it was $36 for the filet. And you're right, just the way that they have the ceiling lit with all the different colors. And if you're there, if you time it just right for your dinner, the sun is going down, you can see fireworks later in the night. It's just lovely. It's a good thing all the way around. All right, I'm going to check the time, 2:56. That means we got to wrap this up, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining in on this conversation. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
For sure.
Thank you. It was so great. If you are watching this and you want to comment on your answers to some of these questions that we have answered during the show, we want to know your thoughts because we have must-eat lists, and they always have room for more. There's always room for one more, just like the Haunted Mansion. So please let us know in the comments section below so that we can chime along with you. And thank you profusely for making our must-eat lists even longer. If you've enjoyed the show, please consider liking and subscribing to this channel. We would love to have you hang out with us on an ongoing basis. And remember, again, that this video, like all videos here on this channel, is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. DreamsUnlimitedTravel.com. Check them out today, and they can help you with your Disney dining reservations as well. They can help recommend a few things for you and help you sift through all the choices. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. Take good care. Bye.